Hey guys, Josh here for another Whiskey Wednesday for Argonaut Wine and Liquor. My lovely assistant Trevor got the week off, so I'm here with my friend Suchit from Sunday's Whiskey. I thought this was a really cool one to do because it's whiskey made in Japan that has some local connections and local ties.
Yeah, well, thank you, Josh and team, for having me here. I'm excited to share a little bit about Sundays with you all.
Definitely. So just nosing it right off the bat, one of the predominant notes I feel like in a lot of whiskeys made in Japan is like green apple, and I believe that comes from the wood usually that they rest barrels in.
Yeah, we use a combination of bourbon, sherry, or port. It's, what's really unique about this is we're absolutely a craft spirit, and so we don't have a formulaic, templated approach. Our production is well below 25,000 bottles a year at this point, and so we don't have a formula, but it's a combination of world whiskeys, whiskey distilled in Japan, and then all of those in aggregate are aged for an average of about 6 years, and then using some of the barrels to finish the product. And our goal is to just have something that consistently tastes good and easy to drink.
Definitely. You definitely get a couple of the different, from the different agings, you get a couple different notes on there. There's some of the sweetness from the sherry, some of that like red fruit brightness, definitely that green apple note that was on the nose follows as well. But you also get, port sweetness for me is always a little bit different than a sherry sweetness or something like that. So you get a little bit of that influence as well. Really, just well balanced whiskey. Really nice. Super light, really easy drinking, no burn at all. Just really, really nice stuff. So good job, guys. Yeah.
Thank you very much. We're inspired. There's a lot of dialogue right now about what makes a whiskey Japanese or not. And we were inspired by Ichiro's Malt and Grain, which really, he's the one that came up with the card series. I think that the full collection went for millions of dollars. And he pioneered world whiskey, rather told the story of it most effectively. And in Japan, what's interesting is that they look at whiskey and provenance different than most of the rest of the world. It's really dependent on blending. And it's the blender that's the expert and the hero and the craftsman. And most of those whiskeys, Nika from the Barrel, Ichiro's Malt and Grain, Sundays, we're humbled to be part of that group, is really a mix of world whiskeys, but it is finished in Japan, and we use Koriyama spring water, which has been used for almost 1,000 years in sake production. And our producer, which is Sasanakawa Shuzo, has been around for 256 years, making sake for about probably close to 80 years, making whiskey, 10th generation family run business, developing a relationship in Japan with a true artisan and maker has really taken close to 5 years for us. So we're tremendously proud of being able to bring something authentic. And the connection to Colorado is that I live here. I'm part of the team. I've got 3 colleagues that are in Hong Kong that are all in the F&B business, and have had critical accolades for their 3 restaurant concepts. So together, it's just a lot of blood, sweat, and tears, and appreciate Argonaut supporting us, and hopefully everybody that's watching this gets a chance to taste it.
Definitely. Yeah, we've got this one on the shelf right now for $64.99. Really great whiskey. Also to go with our drink local as well, I've brought Baere Brewing's Chocolate Pomegranate Imperial Stout. So 9% ABV, adjuncted stout with pomegranate and cacao nibs. Baere Brewing is just down the street from us on South Broadway. Really cool little place. And this, it's interesting. Some of us were talking about this earlier. Most of the stouts we've done on here before have all been barrel aged. So it's really interesting the difference that the barrel adds. Most of the barrel aged ones we've done have been really boozy, get a little bit more of the residual sugars in it. I don't get that on this at all. You definitely get big chocolate right on the front. The pomegranate is kind of a little more subtle on the kind of mid palate, and then on the back, kind of right as you're swallowing it. Just really nice, easy drinking. I mean, at 9%, as we've talked about on here before, you could definitely get into some trouble with these, especially while the weather's still cold. Pound a couple of those and sit on the porch and not even realize you're outside anymore. So that's another local that we wanted to feature today. And as always on our Drink Local edition, we are giving away the option to purchase something pretty special. This is a bottle of, I believe it's this year's release of the Pappy Van Winkle 12. So let's see who we got here. Pick someone out. All right, looks like Patrick Davies. Patrick Davies, you've won the option to purchase this bottle of Pappy 12. Give us a call, we'll have an order set up for you. Suchit, thanks again for coming down. Really appreciate you, hanging out with us, trying some whiskey. And come on down, give them a shot, guys. Cheers.